Yuri from Filipino Women.
And this is Bruce from the Visa Approved Group. And today we're going to talk to you about how we use teamwork to get through the K-1 visa process and now the green card process and going forward to get Yuri citizenship.
Disclaimer, we are not an immigration consultant or lawyers. And also check out our book, Fiance to USA, available on Amazon and Audible. We also have a course called visaapproved.thinkific.com. Check it out. It has the fiance visa process, and we are going to share green card and citizenship videos there too. Before we start, thumbs up for this video and subscribe in our YouTube channel.
Okay guys, so we noticed whenever we interact with people in our group that some people have to do this whole process by themselves, and we kind of feel sorry for some of those folks because it can be a little bit difficult to do. And so for those folks who have to do it by themselves, and maybe if it's a hard process for you, then we definitely suggest using some sort of a third-party agency or a lawyer if you can afford it. But it's not impossible to do it by yourself. The best way to do it is with teamwork, that's for sure.
And that's how we got through the process, is that we were always communicating. We were always we were working together.
I remember we would even have arguments about what the process was. We would have arguments about what documents needed to go into it because both of us knew the process so well that we were like, no, you need the I-129F, and you have to have an intent to marry, and it has to be signed. It has to be fresh ink. No, it has to be, it doesn't matter if it's fresh ink or not. We would have arguments back and forth like that because we didn't want to mess it up. So that's how you have to be. You have to be in the weeds on this. That means you have to really know this process, and that means going through and reading what the process is. You can find out this process by actually going to first of all, knowing what forms, and then you can go to the form instructions. And the instructions actually give you details, in a lot of cases, on what is supposed to go in those fields on those forms.
And by the way, for the I-129F process, for the first part, which is for the U.S. citizen petitioner, the documents doesn't need to be original copies, which means containing original signatures. Only the I-129F has to have the original signature.
So the only thing that you need fresh ink on with the first part of the process, which is done by the U.S. petitioner, is the check itself, the personal check that you make out and goes along with the package, and the I-129F itself, the actual application. You probably want your actual signature on that one. Everything else can be a copy, including your birth certificate from the U.S. petitioner, the G325A biographic information, letter of intent, the declaration how you met. All that does not have to have fresh ink from both you and your fiance. They do need signatures from you and both you and your fiance on the G325A and the declaration of how you met. But that's the thing that both of us had to know. And because we both knew that, we would always double check each other's work. Even when I was doing my part, the U.S. petitioner's portion, Yuri knew enough to ask me questions and say, hey, did you send this? Did you do that? Did you put this together? Make sure you made the check out to the right people. Things like that. And then when she was going through her part of the process, which was preparing for the U.S. Embassy, I would quiz her on questions that the consular could ask. I would go online and find possible questions. I was constantly researching all the things that she needed so that by the time the U.S. Embassy actually sent us a letter specifying everything they needed, we actually already had everything, and actually we had even more than what they needed.
Yeah, so teamwork really helps out a lot during the process, and also for the foreign fiance, it helps a lot to prepare your documents ahead of time, like months and months, like 3-4 months before you start the fiance visa, and ensure that you have the passport and it's not expiring soon, birth certificate, and other documents that you can secure. before the start of the process?
We noticed that some of the people who have a really hard time with this, or tend to have a more stressful and difficult time, are the people who are kind of abandoned with the whole process and they're doing it by themselves. We just noticed that consistently the people who have to do it by themselves are the ones who kind of stress out about it. It's much easier if you do it together as a team and attack the whole process as a team from the start to finish, like knowing the whole process, even debating what is supposed to go in the package, things like that, to double check each other's steps. If both of you share the load, it just makes it much easier, and that's what we found in our case.
So as for the current process, the only changes are the fees, and the ban isn't really that.
The ban has been banned, basically. So it's really not.
I'm not sure if it's gonna go through.
It hasn't gone through. It's been removed.
Oh.
So they might go for another attempt at ban, and it's only for 6 countries now. Now it's 6 countries. Before it was 7 countries. It's kind of all over the place, but it hasn't gone through. So if you're not from those countries, then you really don't have to worry about it at all. But we personally know some people who were from one of those countries, and they're on their way here. So, you know, so that's something that they're trying to change, but hasn't completely gone through yet. You should definitely watch the news and watch the site on that. And the site that you should watch is state.gov. Gives you lots of information, as well as USCIS.gov, Department of Homeland Security.gov. Get the information directly from the horse's mouth. There's a lot of political pandering going on, back and forth between both parties and between the ideology of this country. Don't get caught up in that stuff. Just know the facts and stick with that, because your main focus is on getting your spouse to the United States. So
yes, and is there anything else?
I can give you guys an update on what's going on currently with Yuri and I as far as our process. Right now, Yuri's got her green card. She's had it for what, 2 years? A year now? Year and a half, something like that. So now we're waiting on
10-year green card, which I need to submit
very soon, right?
August.
There you go. So very soon, Yuri is going to be submitting the what's called the I-751 removal of conditions on the current 2-year green card that we have. That will give her a 10-year green card, and then shortly after that, maybe a year after that, or 6 months, something like that, after we get the 10-year green card, then she's going to go for U.S. citizenship. And then after that, we're done. So we've got how many years left?
A year, maybe, or less. Wait, what was it? Yeah, about a year.
So we'll keep you guys updated, and we'll post, we'll post regular things about it whenever something happens as far as our process, and continue to give out information that's useful to you, that may be useful to you and your spouse. But I think that's about it.
Yes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys, and if you want to receive notifications of our newly published videos, click on the bell that you will see next to the subscribe button.
Should be right below.
Yeah,
if you're
next
on your
to the
phone,
subscribe button.
It's below here. It's like a little
subscribe,
bell thing.
and then there's a bell. Yeah, so that you will always get an update. Our schedule remains the same. We always publish videos for fiance visa and related topics every Monday, and then we also publish relationship videos every Wednesday. That will also help you to work on your relationship. And what else?
I think that's it. I'd just like to send a shout out to our group, the Visa Approved group. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the admins for helping each other. Thanks for helping each other out.
New
Thanks for hiring.
I know, not hire. We need to add new admins in our group as it's growing really fast. And at the end of this video, we're gonna post the checklist. At the end of the video, we're going to put the links for the app where you can download the fiance visa. We haven't updated the fees yet, but the process is the same. And you can download it in your phone through your iPhone or Android phone. And you can also go to efilipinowomen.com to get the information about the fiance visa and the 2-year green card process after getting married in the United States. And you can also click on the checklist that we're going to post at the end of this video. And you can also check the playlist at the end of this video for the fiance visa and the green card. You can also check the fiance visa playlist at the end of this video. We're going to put it. Good luck to all of you, and join us on Visa Approved Group. Good luck, guys!